God continue to bless all of you and keep you in such a time as this. This is YouTube Live. This is Filmore. This is Filmore Spellman Production Presents YouTube Live, live and a living color. I'm not going to be here before y'all long. I just want to hop in and see how's everybody doing. I pray that everybody's having a wonderful, blessed evening. I just want to say this about me. I'm a type of person that I want to be real with y'all. That's why I try not to flex. As you see, I got my t-shirt on. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not the best decorum when you go on YouTube Live, but I like to be humble. You know what I'm saying? I like to be humble so that y'all can relate. You know what I'm saying? I think it's okay to look fantastic aesthetically in the whole nine, but I just like to be humble. You understand? I'm not into how the world is flowing, you know what I'm saying? With its materialism and things of that nature. I'm not uh propagated in that sense of mind and what have you. I think people can relate better with people who are just real down to earth and everything. That's the kind of person I am. And so forth and so on. So I just want to hop on to see how's everybody doing. I'm doing good. You understand? I'm just looking forward to Thursday, Friday off, and next week I got a week off from work. See, I think that's one of the benefits of working at a school system. Where you can get that week off and a couple of days and everything. I'm looking forward to get some rest. But I'm going to catch up on some work, some urgencies I need to take care of. But at the same token, I just want to focus on initially my well being, my health. You understand? Self care, things of that nature, and that's what I'm going to focus on and everything. And what else I want to talk about? There's a lot that is on my mind. I do want to talk about, but there are some people out there, right, in life. Thank you so much for the loving viewers. Those who are watching me, feel free to click subscribe to my page. And when you subscribe to my page, I will subscribe to you back because I have love for you. Click the like and also click the notification bell. So every time I come on live, you can hop on quickly and everything. What do I want to talk about? Use discernment when meeting a person or dealing with a person, because you never know, that person that you are with can later on down the line can flip the script on you. You understand? Has that ever happened to you? I don't know about you all, but that happened to me. You understand? For the which cause it caused me to go to therapy to deal with this kind of trauma and everything. Crystal Holmes 2743, one of my uh, top fans, says, "God bless." I know she had a typo error and everything. God bless you too, Crystal. How's everything? Yes. Um. Yeah, like I said, because of that, it caused me to go through therapy, man. And I'm so grateful I went through therapy because um, when you meet certain people, you don't know what kind of spirit that they carry. You understand? You think when you meet someone, and I'm not giving you money, buddy. No, Jim Jones. pl- Here's some housekeeping rules when you come on my page. My page is about motivation. So if y'all feel some kind of urge or need to post something, you know, in a facetious manner, meaning a joking manner, please remove. Because what I'm going to do, Jim Jones, I don't know who you are. You look like one of my top fans. I'm just going to uh, I'm just going to remove that, but I'm still keeping you on as a subscriber and everything. Uh, why are you big? See, this is when I delete again because I'm not here to ask money. I'm here to share with all of you that you got to be very careful when you meet people down the line because you never know a person's intention at first glance. um they seem to have your best interest in heart, but as you get deep in the relationship, right, you never know that person can pull the rug from you. And when they pull the rug from you, it'll take you by surprise, and then you wonder what caused this person to pull the rug. And sometimes you think that it it could be you that were the direct cause of that person pulling the rug, like you had contributed some kind of wrongful act in a relationship. Oh, thank you so much, Crystal. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jim Joe, for understanding and everything. I keep it real 100 and everything. So, like I said, you got to be very careful because the person you think that they have your best interest in heart, and when they pull the rug from you, you understand, it could be a hurtful feeling. Because I've been down that road in 2024, late July 2024, August 2024, and even up to this point, I mean, you'd be surprised, what people can do, and you don't know how far that person can go to try to hold you in contempt, like it that person's trying to make you the big bad boogeyman of the bad guy. You understand? So you got to be very careful how you meet people nowadays. Um, Mayhem, give me the hearts. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Uh, what's that? I like the. I got my glasses. He died on the cross. If you preaching, I receive that. Crystal said, still like and really want to help you alive. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. As you can see, I'm not begging for money. I did this purposely, wearing a white t-shirt and everything. I just want to be humble. I could flex with my clothes on, but nah, I'm here to be humble. I want to showcase the world you can be. How can I explain a word? You could be impactful without the flex. You understand? You could be impactful to give a message, a relevant, real message without the the the, the aesthetic flex of clothing and of attire, fine raiment, if you will. So getting back to what I'm saying, going going through what I have gone through, it has been a whirlwind of a ride of emotions. And when you look back in retrospect and say, why a person could do such a thing like that, you understand? I've been through it, and it's a hurtful feeling, especially when you have feelings for that person, and you have developed from your heart, a genuine relationship with that person, and that person's not reciprocating that type of relationship. you know, it can be hurtful. You know why? Because when you're dealing with a person, you had developed relationship with that person. You had developed memories, pictures, things of that nature, and you dealt with that person. Now all of a sudden, that person want to play like you not existed, and that's the part that gets people all the time when folks just ghost you and vanish and act like all that you had invested. it's like null and void, like the both of you haven't went to an eatery, a restaurant, or had traveled, or what, matter of fact, got married, or things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like people all of a sudden want to forget and just leave that person like what? You know what I'm saying? You you got to be very careful. You got to be very careful. And now I'm in a place where whoever comes in my life, and I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I don't want to operate under past hurt. And that's the thing. Whoever comes in my life, um, but now at this token, I have to be very careful. You know, I don't want to sound like I'm on hyper vigilance, but yes, when you have enter a relationship like that, and when you got disappointed and the rug been pulled away from you, and you lost everything, because of this, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't want to have this impression that everybody that comes to your life, they are guilty until proven innocent. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to walk on eggshells like that, but it just put us, people, in a place of where they have to really screen how whoever comes in your life and everything. I'm not talking about those down through the years and they have developed such a wonderful relationship. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about like the newbies that come in your life. I have to go by. Thank you so much, Christopher, for coming on tonight. I truly appreciate you for coming on tonight, and so forth and so on. Thank you for subscribing to my page, and after this video is over, I will subscribe to your page and everything. So yes, it just leaves you wondering: are you getting to stream? Are you going to stream tomorrow? Because I will be there. That's a good question. I will make it my business to go to do streaming tomorrow night. All right, since you asked me. I would definitely do it because I feel like now is a growing need of of people want me to come out more to have real conversations. One thing about me, I'm the type of person I will address the elephant in the room. I will talk about things that people don't talk about, that people are afraid to talk about. You understand? Is that, oh, you don't have a page? Oh, even though you don't have a page, but you do have a YouTube. How you communicated with right now, you communicated with me YouTube. So you do have a page technically on Crystal. So when I go on your page, I'm just going to click subscribe back. Even though you may not have content on it, I will definitely subscribe back to you out of love's sake, because of your loving support. Yes, so I feel like right now, and YouTube is a wonderful safe place where people can come on, and it's a safe place, and just to hear what people got to say. On Facebook, it has its limits, but YouTube, you can able to go on YouTube and you can explain, you can address the elephant in the room, you can talk about real life stuff. You understand? And that's the kind of person I am. One thing about me, I share some degree of transparency, and I think what scares people is transparency. You understand? It's transparency. Some people want to act like they they don't want to be exposed for the the acts that they're doing. You understand? I'm that type of person to expose, but not expose a specific person, but I can expose to share my life walk. You understand? What I have gone through, and how I dealt with that situation, how I coped with it. Like I said, because the rug had been pulled from me and everything. Although I trust in God, I had to have therapy because that situation messed me up emotionally inside. It was to the degree where I was just having heart palpitations. I couldn't sleep. I had a bad left shoulder pain that was so perpetual, meaning continuous, and it was hurting my arm and everything. I had to get not only emotional therapy, you right, mental emotional therapy. I also had physical therapy with my left arm. I used to go to because I live in Nassau County, right? And I would go far as to what's that? Roslyn. I think it's Roslyn, New York, if my memory serves me correctly. And I would have to leave work early to to make it to therapy and everything. And if you ask me how my left shoulder is doing, my left shoulder is 100% healed by the grace of God. My left shoulder is healed. I could tell you a quick story. In March of 2025, I had a terrible um, muscle spasm on my arm and my back, and I couldn't. I thought I was having a heart attack. I had experienced a pain like no other. I never forget. Um, Me and my son, we were in the shelter, and I experienced this pain. It was so excruciating. I cried. What I did was I took whatever I could out of my wallet, like my health insurance card, um, and everything. And my son's supposed to come with me, but thank God that the shelter had took care of my son and everything. And the ambulance came, and I was on the stretcher, and they took me to Mount Sinai, South Nassau, and I was there for a while until they discharged me. They gave me some intense muscle relaxant. I, I had an intravenous and everything. I thought I had a heart attack, so they ran some tests to see if I was having a heart attack. Thank God I didn't have a heart attack. I didn't have a stroke. I didn't have any of these things. It was just an excruciating muscle spasm. It was because of stress, and that's another thing. When a person had wronged you and everything, and so forth and so on, it had put a lot of stress on my body and everything. Um, I'm just so grateful to God that I am alive to share my testimony with you all, what I have faced and everything. But like I said, whoever comes to your life, you got to screen that person. You got to screen that person because they, at first glance, the first impression, that person seemed like they good and everything. But if you get to know that person deeply, and you start to see like 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 some unusual flaws and things of that nature and so forth and so on. Yeah, you got to be very careful because you got people out there. They want to even go as far. They want to see you in jail, and they try to make you look like the big bad boogeyman of the bad guy. You understand? And trying to paint a picture and try to create judicial law cases on you, like you some bad guy. Man, watch those folks out. There are folks out like that, and they try to flex using the judicial system and try to weaken you, trying to render you powerless. You have the folks out there like that too, so you got to be very careful in these days and time. You got these type of people are like that, man. And it's crazy. It hurts, man. It hurts, and I say all that with love and everything, just to make you fully aware, you know, of the kinds of people that are out there and everything. It's like you have to go through their applications to find out what, even their pedigree, who they belong to. You understand? You have to call into question their pedigree, family. You understand? Are they the same way like the person that you're meeting and things of that nature? You got to make sure you got to check their pedigree. You know, you'll never know what kind of spirit. that pedigree has. You know what I'm saying? Are they walking in the spirit, or are they walking in another spirit? You understand? Because there are two things: the lust of the spirit and the lust of the flesh. Um, Carissa, hey, how you doing? She said, "Now, how are you? How are you?" I got my top fans joining me. Thank you so much for tuning in on tonight. I just sharing with y'all. In these days and times, you got to be very careful who you meet. You understand? Hi to you, Carissa. How are you? Hope all is well with you and everything. Because I want to look out for y'all, because it's a dangerous time when meeting people. You understand? And especially when Jesus Christ said, in Matthew chapter number 24, when Jesus Christ said, "The love of many shall wax cold," and you have a lot of people are waxing cold, and you got to put people through the wax the extreme cold smell test. You understand? Growing cold, because the word wax cold means to grow cold. You understand? Um, Carissa said, "I'm not in a good mood." Talk to me. Why are you not in a good mood on tonight? Talk to me. This is a safe place. You can talk about. Like case in point today, Carissa. I work in the school system, and a lot of adolescents, because I work in a high school. There are a lot of adolescents. They confide to me, and they trust me, because although they can go to social workers, they can go to counselors and things of that nature, but they come to me a lot and everything. Um, I came across an adolescent who name I remain nameless. She came to me that she's going through a personal situation and everything, and she didn't go into great detail, but was she felt behooved to share what she's going through, and I told her that in the school, there is a safe place. You have the counselors here. You have me, of course, and even your sphere of influence, your family, and what have you, and your few friends you could talk to. You understand? Who have your best interest in heart. You understand? And you know, she even shared that even her family members, she want to be very careful what she shared with her family members, because you never know, certain family members may not be mature enough to handle what she's sharing with them regarding what she's going through. And you have some people like that. When you share something to a person, they can mistreat you and see you in the lens, of what they're sharing with you and everything. So so she shared what she's going through, and I encourage her, and I created an environmental safe place, and I just told her, play some gospel music, lift up her spirit, listen to motivated messages, just to lift up her spirit. You understand? And and she just grateful of my presence, because even the ministry of presence, I was just there. You understand? You could be impactful just by your ministry of presence. Case in point, last week when I took off for work Monday, not Monday, Thursday, because I had to take care of certain urgent, and it was just one day off. And when I came back to work, they act like I was gone for a week. He said, "Ernest, where have you been? Where have you been?" It was a blank show. It was this. It was that. I said, "Who can I run to talk to?" I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." I didn't know my presence was very impactful. I'm not here to sound the trumpet like the Bible says. No, but I'm just sharing with you. You don't know how impactful you are. With people with your presence. You understand? It's your presence. People are drawn to you because of your presence. You understand? You know, I'm like, they say I'm one of the most
security officers there at the high school where I work at. And I count it an honor and privilege to, to be down to earth. You see me with my T-shirt right here. I'm just that down to earth in where I work at. I wear my uniform. You understand? But I remain humble and everything and so forth and so on. So even your ministry of presence can play a role. So Carissa, my encouragement to you is this: we are here for you. I am here for you. Even in your good mood, it's okay to express your feelings. Here you have a safe place, Carissa. You understand? Because we're gonna have days where we're not in a good mood. Something could have rubbed you the wrong way. Somebody had said or done something to you that was wrong, or it could be something that you may have missed a deadline and you probably mad at yourself and you're probably not in a good mood, or I don't know. I don't know your story. What caused you to be not to be in a good mood? But it's okay to express your emotions. It's all right. You understand? The late Mr. Rogers says, "What would you do with the matter you feel that you feel like you want to fight?" I, I remember that song back in the day. I used to watch Mr. Rogers a lot. One thing about the show Mr. Rogers, it taught children how to express their emotions and things of that nature. So yes, we're gonna go through, you know, situations in life and everything. So here, Carissa, you have a safe place. You understand? You're not being judged. I'm just here to encourage you. It's okay to express your emotions. It's okay. It's okay because you are human. You understand? And it is okay. It's okay. You understand? And I just hope that the next day you'll be better, having to assess, you know, your not so good mood and everything. I pray that you have what you call a hindsight 2020. You know, and tomorrow it will be a different day. You understand? So that's that, Carissa, and everything. But like I said, I'm not gonna be before y'all long. I just wanna hop on in, see how's everybody doing. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You understand? Just taking life one day at a time, one day at a time, and I'm still on my healing journey. Like I shared, you know, in these day and times, you got to be very careful and selective who comes to your life, man. You don't know if people come into your life, to be predators. You know what I'm saying? Because you got predators out there. You know what I'm saying? Wolves in sheep clothing. You understand? They look innocent and everything, but behind that clothing is a big bad wolf. Wolves in sheep's clothing. Wolves and sheep clothing. They look like sheep and everything, but when you take the sheep aesthetics off, underneath it is a wolf, and you have a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. You understand? They look innocent in the beginning, but they'll lure you in and things of that nature. And then next thing you know, climb. They come to be a savage, to devour you, and that's their job and everything. So that's basically it. I want to let y'all go on. Acknowledge my top fans. My top fans: Carissa, Nyman, Crystal, and Jim Jones. Thank you so much, Jim Jones. Thank you for understanding me, Jim Jones. I appreciate you. Like I said in earlier, housekeeping rules. Just can't say any and everything on my page. You understand? That's not the place for it and everything. I hope I ministered to you. I hope I said something good to lift you up. If I said something good to you, Carissa, just hit me below and said thank you and so forth and so on. If not, if you're not there, it's okay. All right. So make sure. All right. So y'all have a wonderful, blessed evening. It was an honor to speak to y'all just for a little bit, just a little bit, and everything. And check out my latest production. I kind of like rearranged Ella Mae's song. You know that song, Diddy da da Buddha. I, I ch- I changed the word around and I put caught up. Check the unofficial remix I had posted on today. You understand? Eh, because I do a lot of productions and everything. I love to do stuff like that and everything. All right, beloveds, I'm gonna let y'all go. Have a wonderful, blessed evening. I just want to say I love y'all all. It's been real. It's been real. All right, y'all take care. Good night. Shalom.